Welcome to Adventurous Hours. I am Vic, and here is
Lucy.
And as you can see by our attire, today it's kitchen time. And today we're going to present you a dish, a famous dish in France called Poulet basquaise. Poulet means chicken, and basquaise means in the style from Basque. It's a region north of Spain, with capital being Bilbao, and bordering to France, with the capital there being Bayonne. So let's go ahead and see first the ingredients for this famous recipe. So here we are, and now the ingredients for this famous recipe, Poulet basquaise. First of all, of course, the star of the show is the chicken. We have some thighs. Always thighs, because in this way nobody will complain to have a different kind of piece of chicken. Then of course we always have garlic and onions, that's always part of it. We have peeled tomatoes, possible of course fresh and organic. Then we have vegetables, especially the bell peppers. We have tomatoes, we have potatoes, we have carrots, green beans. We will need also beside that some lemon, lemon juice, something spicier. So we have a nice beautiful piece of chili. It's a hot one, Thai chili. And then we have, as you can see, we have balsamico, because this recipe requires a little bit of sourness. So not only the lemon, but also the balsamico. Instead of balsamico, you can also use vinegar. And in some places they put white wine, but actually the best thing would be balsamico. And then the spices being of course salt and pepper to season. And then we add some laurel leaves, thyme, and rosemary. And that are actually the ingredients. So let's start now and prepare our poulet basquaise. So Lucy will do the first part. She's taken a piece of lemon, and she'll be rubbing the chicken thighs all over with the lemon, as it gives a little bit of sourness to the chicken. As we mentioned, that's very important in order to give a balance of tastes later on with all the other ingredients. Following, of course, salting. Not too much, but then of course you have to cover it with salt. So today we'll be using a wok. It's quite practical, as the wok is big and allows a lot of space for all those big, huge chicken thighs. So we put some oil, wait until it gets hot, and then we're gonna fry those chicken thighs until golden brown. So here we go. Nice and sizzling.
I'm using the wooden. It's more healthier to use this, and we're trying to avoid to use plastic utensils.
Exactly. As you can see, Lucy is using a spatula made out of bamboo. We also have made out of wood. These are way more healthier. Try to avoid plastic, especially in cooking. So try to replace them. Go and buy some out of bamboo or out of wood. It's better for the environment and better for our own health. And put aside there in the bowl. As you can see down in the wok, you have those juices. Those are very important. That's where actually the majority of all the taste of the dishes are. And that can be used later on for wonderful sauce. So while we are waiting for the last thighs to get golden brown, we'll be now preparing for the sauce. Lucy sliced already the onions. Now she's slicing the garlic. Just simply slicing. There we go. So now we're ready for that sauce. This is the most important one. This is where all the savors are. Here we go. We'll fry first the onions. It'll take a while because onions need to be fried good. So now that the onions are discolored already, now we add the garlic. We'll stir that for about 30 seconds, 45 seconds until fragrant. You can smell it very fast. It smells so good. Okay, and there goes those beautiful bell peppers. Poulet basquaise, this dish is famous for its red color. Red from bell peppers, red from tomatoes, and red from chili. So we added a little bit of water so we can so the juices around the bottom can be removed. They're very important. Bell peppers need a bit of time. As we said, those are vegetables that need a bit longer to cook. And we prepared the tomatoes. We took out all the seeds. You can see it here. We took out all the seeds. Please do so. This is important. Or else everything will be much too watery. And then peeled tomatoes. As you can see, we never use ketchup. That's not in our cooking. Sometimes we have no choice, but we have to use from the cans, as much as possible, of course, organic. If you have your own garden, all the better. I used to have one before when I was young. We had our own tomatoes, our own zucchini. It was very nice. Everything fresh. So leave it for a while and we'll be back in a moment. So normally in this recipe for the basquaise you don't use potatoes or green beans or carrots. It's just tomatoes and red bell peppers. But of course, as every recipe, you can always modify it and make it at your own taste. Lucy loves to cook chicken afritada, which is very similar. There's a reason why she likes to add those potatoes, carrots, and green beans. Afritada basquaise, something like that. So now we're going to add the spices. These are the very important leaves, the laurel leaves. We'll be adding some thyme, some rosemary, of course some black pepper. There we go. So that was thyme. And we go with rosemary. Those are herbs from the Mediterranean. That's why it gives a very special taste. Together with olive oil, Mediterranean style. Black pepper. Salt. Just don't overdo with the salt, just a little bit, because salt you can always add later on. If it's over salted, then you can't remove any more of the salt. So always be careful. Same thing with vinegar. And this is balsamico. We are putting balsamico, that's actually the best one for this dish. But some use also vinegar. And we have some here. For example, you can use apple vinegar. You can use red wine vinegar, or some like to experiment with the grenadine syrup. It's also a little bit sour. It has a particular taste. It is not typical from there, but why not? We can always experiment. Those are very good actually, those fruits. And that's been eaten very often in the Near East and Middle East. Like when you go to Iran, you go to Syria, and so on. They like very much this one, grenadine. So we like to experiment always. It's always nice because when you experiment and you modify the recipes, sometimes it turns even better. Sometimes not, of course, but sometimes you really improve them. So now Lucy added a little bit of that grenadine syrup. Now, beautiful thighs come inside. Yeah, first we're going to leave it first inside, and at the very end all this will go in the oven together with the other vegetables. So let's put the lid on. Of course, don't forget the juices.
Oh.
Right, that's the best. So Lucy is putting now those thighs in with a casserole, a big pot, and that pot will be going in the oven. I'm very hungry already, especially when you see this beautiful red, beautiful sauce. And as we all know, the camera cannot catch the smell. It smells very good. There goes the sauce. Everything, every little bit. The potatoes. Carrots. It's very cold. It's very colorful. Green beans. It's what you call a frittata basquaise, modified. And the last part is the, for those who like it, the chili. The oven is already heated. At how much? 200? 250 Fahrenheit, 200 Celsius. We'll put the cover. It's aluminum. If you have a pot with a lid, all the better. Try also to avoid aluminum, but in our case we don't have, so we have to do it this way. In the oven. And the chicken will be in the oven now for about 45 minutes. At 200 degrees Celsius, that makes around 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll see you then when we will take it out of the oven. Can't wait. So, time is up. 45 minutes about, right? And let's have a look at the beautiful chicken. Poulet basquaise. Lucy style. Here we go. That's how it looks like. We go now. Sit down on the table and enjoy this wonderful chicken. As you can see, this is it's a modified version. There are vegetables inside, because if you will have the original one, there is no potatoes, there is no carrots, and no green beans. However, of course, you always have to eat something with it, right? So instead of making the potatoes separately, well, it's already there. So it makes it easier. Why not? Poulet basquaise. So please try this recipe now and tell us how it turned out in the comment section below. For us, it turned out fantastic, especially when we're heating. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. And please don't forget to subscribe now at Adventurous Hours. Bye.